Budget enthusiast. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Budget Enthusiast, and today we're gonna take a look at some smartwatches. Now, I just recently pre-ordered the brand new Samsung Galaxy Watch 4. I got it in silver in the 40 millimeter with the sports band. One thing that's cool, this watch that's right here, this one here, this one is gonna get traded in. That's the Galaxy Watch 3. Now, I just recently got that one on a sweet deal from the Samsung website when I traded in my Gear S3. And I got that one for about, I think it was like $70 after the trade-in. So this time, if I trade in this watch, which is the Watch 3, I will be able to get the new watch for $60. So that's a no-brainer for me. Reason being is because Google and Samsung did a partnership. So they're combining their two mobile platforms together. So what they're doing is, since Google has the Wear OS, and we'll talk about Wear OS as I go down the line on these watches, but Wear OS is Google's watch platform. And I mean, while I think it looks good, it has horrible battery life though. Like the battery life on just about all the Wear OS watches is straight trash. So they combined with Samsung, who doesn't have all of the apps available to them like the Google platform. So now they're joining forces, and now we're about to get the best of both worlds. We're about to get Samsung's Tizen battery life, and we're going to get all the apps, all the Google apps and all the other apps from the Play Store combine into this new watch. I'm so excited for it. I've been waiting for something like this because I love the battery life on my Galaxy watches, but the Wear OS watches, they have just been terrible. Just the battery life is god awful. So what we're doing today is we're just going to take a look at the watches that I've owned, talk a little bit about each one, and this is just in preparation for the new smartwatch that I'm going to get, which I'm going to try to do an unboxing for when I get it. Now, I love smartwatches. The very first smartwatch, we're going to start at the beginning. The very first smartwatch that I ever owned was this Motorola 360 right here. So Moto 360 was the very first one that I ever owned. And I absolutely love this watch. I love the design of the watch. I love the screen on it. It's an LCD screen. AMOLED screens or OLED screens weren't available at that time for watches. But man, this was my joint. And you could tell that I wore the hell out of it because you could see the leather band that it comes with is all cracked up because I wore this thing constantly all day long. This was my watch. Now, if you look at the bottom here, you're going to see like a little flat tire down here. That's what they call it. But they had to put some sensors in there. So unfortunately, you have that flat area down there. So when you have certain watch faces, the watch faces won't, you'll be missing like the number 6 down at the bottom, or maybe something important down there would be missing. But let's just take a look at some of it here. So it's actually kind of a chunky boy. This is one of the first ones out, first round watch ones anyway. So it's kind of a chunky boy, but it doesn't sit up too high on the wrist. I really love the design. The shiny silver just looks amazing. This leather band wasn't the best. Now back then you couldn't really just swap out the bands very easily. If you take a look here at the bottom, you can see that they have a major design flaw. So when you're wearing the watch and you know how it has to fold around your wrist, this plastic piece here, this back plastic, would always crack. Like I've never met a person that had an original Moto 360 that didn't have this section back here cracked, if they, especially if they wore it a lot like I did. Like you can't avoid it. And it's hard to change out the bands because the pins are located way down in here. So it's not a good look. It was pretty poor design, but I love the look of it when you're just wearing it. It was amazing. And that was the very first smartwatch I ever owned. So I had that one for a few years. And then as time went on, they, of course, just like with every other company, they released new stuff. So Motorola came out with another refresh, and it's the Motorola Moto 360 Gen 2. Now, this probably is my overall favorite watch. I rocked this watch until the battery completely gave out on me. But fairly recently, as in 2019, I revived this bad boy. I found a trick to get it to charge again, and I wore it for a little while before I ended up getting some of the new watches that you'll see here. But this definitely is one of my favorite designs, period. Like, it's slightly thinner than the original one. It doesn't have that crease underneath. You know, the bands are not tucked underneath. They actually have regular lugs. So that is awesome. So it takes a standard 22 millimeter band, and it has a quick release. You know, most of the bands now have the quick release. So you just pull this down and you can snap the band right on off, and you can get yourself a different band. Man, I love this thing. Absolutely. I mean, it's beautiful. Like, look at it. It looks classy. It could be sporty depending on the bands that you put on it. Like, man, this was my joint right here. I was so sad when it stopped working. And when it stopped working, I ended up buying a Galaxy S3. Now, my Galaxy S3, I traded it in order to get this one down here. So once I did that, that one was gone. But it's okay. That wasn't one of my favorite. That watch was really thick and heavy. I wanted something a little bit lighter. So there was a time period where Fossil, which I used to collect Fossil watches. I have at least like 15 or 16 of them by the up until I started doing smartwatches. But I had I wanted a Fossil watch because I know they were getting cheaper, and they had a really good deal on there, and I had some Best Buy points to use to get it. So I ended up getting this one. So I've got this one probably, I think I paid, let me look at the receipt real quick off camera. That one I paid $75 for after my Best Buy reward certificates. So this one here, this one runs the Wear OS, Google's Wear OS on the watches, and actually these two also ran Wear OS. It was just called Android Wear at the time that these were created. And I liked it. And the battery life actually was not bad on these two. But when we got to this Fossil watch, while I love the design, like the 3-spoke here, and then this is a rotating crown so you can navigate through there with this here. Oh man, it's a beautiful watch. It looks really nice. It's nice and thin. Doesn't stick up too far. 22 millimeter bands, so I can easily swap them out. It was a great looking watch, but I did not like the battery life on it. So just to give a little context, you can go into the settings of this particular watch, and you can turn on a battery saver mode, which you can make custom. So that means you can turn off the things that you want to use, turn off the things you don't want to use, and keep the things on that you do want to use. But even after all of that, I still, like, if I go to work, I sleep in my watch. So I'll let it charge up, which this watch charges super fast, by the way. So I'll let the watch charge up to 100% before I leave to go to work. So I take it off the charger probably about 7:20 in the morning. By the time I get home about 5:15, it's already at like 20%. Now that is straight trash. And I turn off a lot of notifications because all I really need are text messaging things. So I just need to see my text messages. I don't want emails popping up on here because I don't care about my email enough to have them notify me on the watch. So I tell you what, the watch is beautiful. I like the screen on it. It's a OLED screen on here. The watch face is nice and big. I like kind of smaller watch faces. I have the wrist of a toddler, so I need something a little bit smaller. But I mean, this was fine just because it was a little bit flatter. It didn't stick up too high. But man, that battery life was straight trash. Like, I can't rely on this thing for anything. So when I had this watch, when I wore it daily and I used to travel, like I would have to make sure before I left the house, every time I left the house, I had to make sure it sat on the charger for at least 20 to 30 minutes before I moved on. Oh, that's my dog barking. I don't know what he's barking at. I don't know what he's barking at. But anyway, so moving on. Here we go. So we're going to move on to what I wear currently. This is the Watch Active 2, which I absolutely love this watch. I love the design. I love it's small. It's like I can put it nice and tight against my wrist and it's not like bulging out or anything. So this one is the 40 millimeter version. They have a 44 millimeter in this one. I didn't necessarily need a 44 millimeter. Like I said, I have the wrist of a toddler, so I didn't necessarily want it to be super huge on my wrist. So the 40 millimeter is absolutely perfect. And I love everything about this watch. The battery life is really good. The one thing I was confused on when you go to look at this online, it says black. And then when you get it, it's actually aqua black. So aqua black has a slightly blue tint to it. I don't know if this is coming through on the camera, but there's a slight blue tint to this thing. And even on the buckle, there's a slight blue tint, which is fine. It doesn't bother me. But I love the screen. Samsung makes some of the best AMOLED screens on their devices. So this particular watch is one of my absolute favorites. Now the new one that I'm getting is gonna kind of replace. It's not really gonna replace this one. They're gonna work side by side because, like I said, I'm trading in this one over here. So this one and that new Samsung are gonna be my dailies. I'm gonna just swap between them. And as I'm talking, I will probably have some photos towards the end of the new watch, so you can see what I'm talking about. But talking about this one, so this one has a lot of those cool health features. See, back in the original Motorola days, like these two, health features and stuff, I mean, it tracked your steps and stuff, but it didn't really do a bunch of workouts. This one is the Active series, and like any of the newer smartwatches, they focus heavily on like fitness features. So this one tracks all my steps and how many flights of stairs I go through on a daily. It's actually really robust. And just to take a look at some of it, it has two buttons here on the side. They kind of flush, not totally flush, but they're close enough. They don't stick out as much as like this one or these two here, because it's more of an active one. And a couple flaws about this watch. So I know I told you I love this watch, but there are some flaws in it. Number one, it's an aluminum casing. So this particular model uses an aluminum casing. So, and it's spray painted aluminum. So the blue color will kind of chip off. I don't know if you can tell, there's a couple of nicks around the edges here. So I don't know if you can tell that or not, but it's kind of frustrating. Like when you look down at it, you're just like, man, this is not good at all. But it's all right. That's a part of wearing your watches daily. So if I didn't wear my watches daily, then I could see me being upset. But I wear this thing all the time. I sleep in it and everything because it tracks your sleep. So that's another thing I like. I don't sleep very well, y'all. I don't know if y'all out there know that, but I don't really sleep well. So I like to see how many hours I'm actually getting and try to adjust myself to that. I'm a really light sleeper, so any slight noise will wake me up. So I get to see how many times I've been waking up. So I try to adjust my life accordingly. But I do enjoy the size, the feel. It's light. All the bands look good on it. I haven't put a band on here yet that didn't look good on this particular watch. And I have like 1 million bands because you can get them cheap from Amazon. So that's the Watch Active 2. And then finally, we're going to move on to this one. This one is the Watch 3. Now, I thoroughly enjoy the design of this watch. Like, it just looks super classy, and I love the two-tone look. And this one has the rotating bezel. So this one, when you're navigating, you rotate this, and it'll navigate through your settings and all that other stuff. This one here, the Watch Active, it has a different type of one. It has an electronic rotating bezel, so as I move my finger across, it rotates instead of having a physical one, which I'm okay with. I am okay with that. No problems with that at all. So that's why I chose to get the new watch, the Galaxy Watch 4, instead of the Classic, because the Classic has the rotating bezel. The rotating bezel to me just adds thickness, and like I said, since I have small wrists, I don't necessarily need a big, huge, chunky watch. I like one that's a little bit more streamlined, and that's why I chose. If you notice, all of these are more or sleeker, because there's some big chunky watches out there. Like when I had my S3, they had the Frontier model. I had the classic model, which is the silver one, and it looks more like a classy watch. The Frontier was more like a rugged watch, and I didn't. It was too big. Like I tried it on in the store because they had the little dummy demos out there, but that thing was way too big for me. So, and they didn't have another size. So now they actually have two sizes. So you can get the a 42 millimeter or 46 millimeter in the classic model of the new Watch 4. So with the Watch 3, I decided to go with the 42 millimeter. It fits my wrist better. It does stick up a lot more than the Active, which is fine. But, you know, when I wanted to be classy, I would throw this one on. Or if I just wore something a little bit nicer, I would put this one on. But it is a fairly large watch. But all the features that you get in the Watch Active 2, you get over here. So they're pretty much the same watch. I got this one super cheap, like I said earlier in the video. And that's what I do. I'm the budget enthusiast, y'all. So I try to find the best deal possible. So I know you're probably sitting at home like, man, this dude got like 800 of these watches, all these smartwatches. Bruh, the only one that I paid full price for, like full price, was the original one. Like I saved up my money and I bought that original watch. I got it for my birthday like way back in like 2015 or something when it first came out. Because it came out in October of 2015, if I'm not mistaken, and I got it that same month, so for my birthday. So hey, I find the best deals possible. All these other watches, I use like my Verizon discount when I worked for Verizon, which made it stupid cheap. I got this one using Best Buy gift cards and reward points and stuff, and I got this one on a mega sale on Amazon, and I even got like some free stuff with it because Samsung was doing a deal with Amazon. And this one I traded in the S3 to get this one, pay like $70 for it or something ridiculous. So no, I try not to pay a lot of money for hardly anything that I have. I'm the budget enthusiast. So these watches here were all acquired by good means. Now these Samsung watches, like seriously, if y'all are interested in some of these watches and gadgets and stuff and new phones, like you should check out the Samsung site. I personally, for my phones, I am a Pixel man all day long. I love my Pixel. As a matter of fact, I probably would do an unboxing on the Pixel 6 when that comes out, because I'm gonna get that one. I have the 4A currently, so it's, you know, that's already been paid off. So I'm waiting for the Pixel 6. When that comes out, I'll do a video and an unboxing on that. But if I was a Samsung person, man, and you could just trade in and get like stupid discounts off of these phones, man, it's like y'all should check out Samsung.com. Like, this is not sponsored by them. I wish it was though, but it's not sponsored by them. But you should go check out them deals, like for the watches and stuff. My goodness, it's insane. You just trade in an old phone, and you can get like up to $300-$400 off sometimes. Like the new Galaxy Fold 3 and the Z Flip 3 and all those new ones that are coming out. Matter of fact, real quick, y'all, the Z Flip 3. If I was not a diehard Pixel person, I would definitely get that phone. That phone looks dope, and it's a foldable. Like, it folds up like an old clamshell phone, like your old Motorola Razors and stuff. It's beautiful, and like they have different colors. It's definitely a fashion centric watch. it's fashion-centric phone. And what's cool is they even have colors that match the new watches. So it's definitely geared towards people who are fashion forward. Not saying that I'm fashion forward. I just like the way it looks. And Samsung makes really good phones. But I'm definitely a Pixel guy. So I will be getting that Pixel 6. But as far as the watches are concerned, I'm really excited. This is probably the first like tech video that I've done on my channel so far. I just wanted to talk about smartwatches for a couple minutes. Looks like I'm going into the 20-minute territory, but I just wanted to talk about smartwatches. They're some of my favorite gadgets, and I wear them constantly. So these are the main two that I wear now. This one I don't wear as much because I need to protect it, because I need to trade that one in. But this watch active is on my wrist all the time. I only took it off for this video, and as you can see, I got that sweet old tan. And yes, I do wear it on my right wrist. I am right-handed. Don't ask me why. It's just something that I've done since I was a kid, and I feel more comfortable wearing it on my right wrist. Don't ask me why. I don't know. But thanks for watching, y'all. And like I said, I'm gonna towards the end of at the end of this video, I'm gonna have some of the specs and stuff on the new watch. I might just put up part of that commercial so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm really excited for these watches, and hit me up in the comments if you guys like smartwatches out there. I don't know too many people that wear smartwatches, and the ones that do, they usually just have an Apple Watch. I want to talk to my Android heads out there. People who are on Android, if you wear a smartwatch, what smartwatch are you wearing? Are you wearing a Samsung one? Are you wearing like the new Moto 360 Generation 3? I almost got that watch. I could not find a good deal on it though, but I wanted that watch so bad so I could add it to the collection of these other Motos. But it doesn't have a speaker, and that kind of turned me off because I like to have sounds come from my watch from time to time. Or if I can't find my phone in the crib and I need to answer a phone call, I can answer the phone call on my watches. But you can't do that on that Gen 3 Motorola. So that kind of turned me off. But other than that, y'all, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. What kind of watches are you using? I'll be getting that watch, the Watch 4 pretty soon. It said it'll be here by the 31st. So I will try to do an unboxing. So thanks a lot for watching, and stay safe out there, and peace. The budget enthusiast. Boy DV. The budget enthusiast.